You're exhausted not because you're lazy, but because you're busy in the wrong territory. You're doing the wrong thing. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Martin Williams. I help purpose-driven leaders discover, develop, and deploy their divine assignment so that they can reign in life without losing themselves. When you find that territory, everything aligns. Peace, prosperity, productivity, everything comes into the right place and the right focus. Today, I'm going to help you identify your personal sphere, your rulership, your spot in this world, so that you can stop scattering your energy all over the place and focus, really focus your influence where it's most effective, where it's most needed. You can't reign everywhere, but you do have to reign someplace. It's really important that we start to put our emphasis on reigning in our particular callings and our particular areas. And the question for today is simply, where do you rule? Because if you don't know where your territory is, you'll spend your life working in something or on something that's not really the right place for you. As we begin to talk about territory, it's very important that we talk about this thing, this principle of dominion. Write it down. This principle of dominion. The idea here is that you were created to rule something specific, not everything general. You were put on earth to have a specific call, a specific cause, a specific, your gift set, your authority, your identity, as we talked about before, is here for something particular. So you were created to rule something very specific. It's not very general. So we have to really look at this and really talk about and think about why it's so important to do so. I always start with my favorite book, and though I read lots of other books, my favorite book is the Bible. I use it to help me figure out exactly why I'm here. And then I'll read other books that sort of support those thought processes that come from the true book. So let's talk about David here for just a second. David wasn't king of the world. You know, he wasn't trying to be king of the world. He was king of Israel. He became king 3 times, and the highest level of his kingship was Israel. And yet his focused rulership changed history. He wasn't ruling the whole world, but now we can see what he did and how it changed the world, how it helped the world. So even though he was just ruling that little bitty nation, he influenced all of us. He didn't try to sit on Saul's throne. He didn't try to lead Judah. He didn't try to fight every battle. He simply ruled the lane with excellence. His lane, his calling, his particular assignment on earth, that's what he ruled. That was the crown on his head. He wasn't crowned the king of the world. He wasn't crowned the king of France or the king of Rome or the king of wherever country that you're coming from. But he reigned that one country called Israel, one of the smallest countries or nations in the world. Yet he is still influencing us by how he ruled Israel. Why? How did he do that? Because he mastered his field. Others followed him willingly. He mastered, if we would say, the little place called Jerusalem, the little place called Israel, the little nation called Israel, he ruled it well. He ruled it with principles. He knew his territory. And because he knew his territory, he was able to pass it on to his son that scaled it to all of the empires in that particular part of the world at the time. So dominion requires definition. Dominion requires definition, boundaries. Where is your field? Where do you rule? The crown that you have is not the crown to be the king of the entire world. So knowing that dominion requires definition is important. You can't have authority over what you refuse to identify. If you don't identify it, In other words, if I can't identify my spot, if I can't identify my calling, if I can't identify my area, which is people development, right? If I can't identify that, how do I find my space that I rule inside that space? You can't have authority over what you refuse to identify. So you've got to identify that place where you have rulership, where you wear the crown, where your throne actually sits, what part of the world, what part of industry, what part of community, what part of business, what part of education or politics or whatever it looks like. Where do you rule? So in every area you have been given, just like Adam, you've been given a garden, not the globe. You don't have the whole globe. So you've got to find out what is your thing. He was given a garden, not a globe. So mastery starts small. Mastery might start, you might just be over a small portion of a business. You may be you're the janitor. So your crown right now is that mop bucket. Your crown right now is keeping the building clean. And you may be the only janitor. That might be where you start, but it's not where you finish. And it's not where you should see yourself the rest of your life. You're in a particular section of rulership, but you're going to expand from that garden to the entire, you're going to expand. But you got to know your territory that you're starting in. That's what makes it so important. So just think about this. Imagine just for a second, an electrician trying to fix plumbing. Can you see him? Trained to be an electrician, but he's trying to solve a plumbing problem. Skilled. Yes, he is. He or she, very skilled, but in the wrong territory. That skill doesn't match this territory of plumbing. It matches the territory of electricity. So skill without placement becomes very frustrating. So many of us are frustrated because we're trying to bring electrician superiority, electrician education, electrician power, electrician education, electrician experience. We're trying to bring it to a plumbing problem. And it won't work. It's frustrating for us. It's frustrating for the people we're trying to lead. It's frustrating to the industry that we're in. We belong over here in electricity, not plumbing. So knowing your territory early, when you're a child, you should begin to understand who you are and what you do. If you don't know how to do that, you need our help, right? You need our help to help you figure that thing out so you can live it as early as possible so that you scale and grow in your areas of expertise. Okay, so I didn't want to get stuck there. So let me ask you this question then. If you're really thinking about where you're placed, raise your hand if you know you're out of place. You can feel it, you know it. I'm out of place. I have skill to do something, but I'm not doing it every day. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. Ask yourself right now, where do I have consistent results that others can't replicate? Oh, what a great question. I'm consistently having results doing this, and there's no one else that does it like me. Write that down. Tell yourself what that is. See, that's your domain. Well, Martin, they don't have names for this. They don't have, what category? You're not in anyone's category. You just need to write down what you do and do the best. That's your category, not one of these categories that the world has built for you to get in and stay in and be locked in there the rest of your life. No, it's one that you have found, and now you're writing down what that domain is. Write it down and stop apologizing for it. You owe us no explanations. You owe us no apologies for being you. Eventually, you have to be the king of yourself rather than being the king of anybody else or anything else. Be the king of you first. Own yourself first. Own who you are first. Own your development first. Don't give that away to anyone, because if they own your development, then they own where you go from there. Here's the bottom line to this whole thing. Kings don't chase opportunities. They cultivate territories. You're not looking for an opportunity out there. You're finding your ground, even if it's fallow, even if it hasn't been worked, even if it has stones in it or thistles in it or whatever, it's not been cultivated. Doesn't matter. It's your ground. Work there all your life and expand from there into other parts of your life. You get what I'm saying? That's what's important for you to do. Here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to put in the chat so we can see it. So we're building this community. Put in the chat what you really believe your territory is. Put it right there in the chat so we can see it. We can respond to it. We can hear what you're saying. Why do I always ask people to do this? Because I'm asking you to do something probably that no one's asked you to do. Come and become public. Come out and become public about who you think you really are. What's your territory? Tell the rest of us. We want to know. What we need to understand is we need to define our dominion. What is your dominion? That's what you're going to focus on. You're going to focus on your territory, your domain. How do you expand it? How do you protect it? How do you identify it? And now we see you at the top because of this principle, that power without principles destroys the kingdom that you're called to rule. You'll never own the world until you master your yard. If you want to own the whole world, master the yard that you've been given and grow from there. Kings don't rule everything, but they have to rule somewhere. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe and watch the next video.